Hi, my name's Dawn Cady, and I'm bringing you a 2023 forecast. And what these forecasts are, it's about the energetic structures, the energy that the universe is putting through. Now, it's 2023 and beyond. And basically, what happens with these readings is this information comes through me and it's coming through cards. So they're talking to me through cards, and I'm sharing what is going to happen on an energetic level. So when we attach to the 3D, it plays out differently for everybody because of our perception, how we perceive the world, the amount of work that we've done, how we have set up our reality, how our psyche is structured. So I don't generally do readings on the 3D because it can just change instantly like that. And the most accurate readings is about the energy of what is coming through planet Earth and what is going to come through humans to ground into planet Earth. And the energy that's coming through for 2023 and beyond is explained through these cards. And it says as well, what's the past? So how have we been running in the past energetically, in the present and the future? And then it unfolds what energies are going to come through for us to create what the future is. So it's a really interesting read. And I just felt that I wanted to explain in relationship to how these cards run. Now, there is a theme for 2023. And what I was told that theme was is to challenge those in power and stand up for yourself and choose your battles wisely. So what this means is that the energies that are coming through are going to start to hit on disturbances within inside of you that has you not stand up for yourself, that has you back away and allow people to walk all over you, allow maybe government organisations, maybe allow an employer, maybe allow a family member, one of your kids. You'll start to see clearly through this energy that's coming through in 2023, you'll start to see clearly where you're giving your power away and where you need to stand up for yourself. And situations and circumstances will come into your life where this will be a lesson for you to see and to take beyond and start to progress and move forward on this evolution. So for 2022, the theme was about relationships and about seeing how you act in relationships and how people are treating you and how you're treating yourself, and are you being loving and kind and caring to those that love you, or are you snapping at them? And it was a chance and opportunity to see how you treat your family, how you treat your friends and those close relationships. And that energy was coming through all in 2022. This is like the next step of it, because the overarching theme for the next decade just dropped through there. And the overarching theme is collaboration. And in order to collaborate with one another, we've got to have caring and compassion and kindness coming through. And if we have disturbances inside of us that stop us being like that and standing in our own power and having that kindness and compassion for ourselves, we can't create this overarching theme of collaboration, because that's how we're going to come together. This is how the new world, the new earth, however you want to put it. And this energy that comes through me is from source, universe, God, whatever that is. I've just done years and years of cleansing and clearing and purifying so I can channel this information through and then ground it into the earth by sharing this information. That's how I ground it. I allow it to come through, and then I translate it into language. And that language that I'm translating is grounding it. So this is why I try and not get involved in the 3D. So all the stuff that you're hearing about this new world order and all of that, yes, that's going to unfold. But the main thing that I want for you to take away from this is the universe knows what it's doing, okay? It knows what energies are needed, and it will use the situation and circumstance and tyranny to our greater advantage. Everything is working for me, by me, for my greater good and growth, okay? So just hold on to the fact that you are creating this. Your reality creates what you see outside. And this reading is the energetic structures of what the universe is going to be putting through. You have free will. You get to decide whether you allow these energies to come in and you learn and you experience them and let go of the suffering that you're holding within inside of yourself, or you get to choose to ignore it all and do nothing with it. But what happens with that is the lessons get harder and harder and harder. So it's best just to open up, allow yourself to receive the information from the reading, and just trust that when a situation or a circumstance comes into your life, you just pull back and go, this is happening for me, by me. I'm creating this. And this gives you your power, and it stops you from giving your power away to other people. By you taking responsibility and ownership for what's happening, you then become more sovereign. And in that, you then start to go, I do have power. There are always choices. Yes, some choices are more comfortable than others, and generally the most uncomfortable choice is the right one. Unfortunately, emotionally, that's how you follow it. So the more safe and comforting it feels, generally that's not the choice that you're meant to take. It's usually the most uncomfortable one, because we've got to live on this edge, and our edges is where we transform and grow. When we stay within the confines of our comfort zone, we don't grow. We just create the same old, same old. And if you're listening to someone like me in these readings, you're wanting to grow. So just remember, being at the edge is uncomfortable, but this is where the gold is. This is where I start to learn. This is where I transform. This is where I ascend. This is where I start to become more of who I am, which is infinite potential. Enjoy the read.
So what I'm getting come through on this collective reading is that the past, we've been living in the past and pining for the past. And it's like we have been pining for who we are, our inner child. Our inner child and our adult have been completely separated, ripped apart. And we've been in this like mourning and grieving of old dreams and romanticizing about the past. And that's where we've been kind of living, romanticizing how it was when we were children, the fantasies and the things that we wanted to create. And there's this big divide between who we are as an adult and our inner child. And the present card that came up for humanity is where they are right now, which is lots of research, doing lots of investigation work, getting to understand what the situation is, preparing and researching on everything, triple checking everything, becoming this like bookworm, obsessed with research. And this is to do with, which is so interesting, which is to do with the age of information. And it's like you've done enough research now. And that's what the card is saying in this present moment. That's where you've been, and you've been there for a while, but now it's time. The next step is to step into the next evolution of that. And the future card that came through is, it's about that this is it. Everything that you've been waiting for, all your dreams are coming true. Source and the angels have heard you, and the magic is starting to begin. So it's like allow yourself to feel this complete joy, and this is what we're continuously hearing from other people, is hold your vibrational frequency. And this is what's happening. It's like let your heart be filled with the childlike wonder and awe. So we've been craving this. So the past was all about this craving. And then we've been doing this research and finding out what's going on, why am I experiencing this? And we've been like investigating all of these modalities, investigating information about the human mind, watching images. And this is what I'm getting as the collective consciousness. So this is not just like myself or people who are working on themselves. This is what's happening collectively. So this is the vibrational frequency of what planet Earth is on as well. So anybody who has been investigating, anybody who's been involved in this, in lifting the vibrational frequency of humanity and holding the space, is actually working on a collective. And it's going to be different for everybody because we're all on a different path of evolution. Some of us are going to ascend, some of us are going to become ascended masters in this lifetime, some of us are just going to evolve to the next level of understanding and who we are on a deeper level in this life, but not really ascending, just a change, a shift in our DNA and the future DNAs of our family and our ancestors. We've switched from being in this reminiscing and constant reminiscing to growing up. So it's almost like we're going from this adult child to this like scholar who's like investigating everything, and we're going through this progress. And it's like, well, now that you're going through this evolution together as humanity, what's going to happen is the law of attraction is going to kick in. You're going to start to invoke all of your heart's desires. You're going to start to manifest and release the wishes, what you've always had for humanity. And it's about letting go of the how, coming out of the mind and dropping into the heart. So we've been living in our mind in this present. We've been in our mind and we've been investigating, and it's now going, now it's time to drop into your heart. And just hold faith that everything's going to be realised. This is really beautiful. I'm really glad that this is turning out. I had no idea how it was going to turn out. I kept being told, we've won, we've just got to weigh it out, we've just got to allow the movie to play out. I kept getting the same information, which I'm hearing a lot of psychics are getting the same information, but this is just beautiful to hear this come through. Because whenever I pull cards, they're precise, like they're always on point. So the spread that I do is a past, present and future, and then I go into 3 stages of consciousness, so what we're consciously aware of and what is happening in the subconscious. So what has come through on this 4th card is the first wave of subconscious is renewal. So that's what came through, is renewal. So it's about reviewing the past with compassion and forgiveness, and it's almost like it's this, we now need to head in a new direction. We now need to start getting clarity on what our purpose is and what's in our hearts and knowing what to do. So what these cards are, it's like the step from the present to the future, what is going to happen. So consciously, this is what's happening with humanity. They're going to consciously start choosing what they want. What do you want to do? How do you want to experience this life? What do you want to walk away from? How do you want to feel? And we're going to be starting to ask ourselves these questions. That's a vibrational frequency that's going to start coming. So it's this what's next kind of thing. That's what we're going to step into. So going from this investigation to going into, right, okay, what's next? Consciously choosing what the next step is. And as we go into the subconscious mind, we're getting a beautiful card here. It's like we're consciously choosing that, and this beautiful card that's coming up is on a subconscious level. It's like we're starting to see, where are we getting distracted? What to-do lists have we got? Why does it keep growing? And we're asking ourselves these deeper questions, and the tendency to focus on the challenges that you're experimenting rather than the reasons to be grateful. It's like we're starting to consciously shift from, oh, hang on, do, I've got to get this done, to going, oh, you know what? Why does that to-do list keep growing? Why do I have a tendency to focus on all of the challenges rather than the reasons to be grateful? Why am I distracting myself? And we're going to start to see ourselves, and we're going to start to notice the blessings and the opportunities right in front of our face. That's what we're going to start to subconsciously work on and purge, and it's going to then come into the conscious mind. And when we are successful in that, so what's going to come out is consciously people are just going to start speaking the mind, and they're going to be, it's going to be blunt, and people are going to get offended, but at the same time they're like, well, it's probably the truth. And yes, it was insulting, and it was blunt, but people are going to be able to take the truth more. It's almost like what's being said from other people's mouths is like, that's genius, that's right, it's uncomfortable, but you're spot on. And it's almost like those people that know everything, they now need to start or have that perception that they know everything. They're going to start to be tested to start pulling back and be thinking before they speak. Because what's going to happen with those people is they're actually going to really rub people up the wrong way. So it's almost going to be like these people who've been on the back burner, people who've been keeping quiet, and they've just been doing the work behind the scenes. They're going to step up and they're going to start saying things how they are, and people are going to be like, wow, yep, you're accurate. That's exactly right. That's exactly how I've been feeling. And it's going to touch some wounds. It's going to rub against some hurt, and people are going to get triggered. But what's going to happen is those who have been at the front, who have been like, I know everything, I've predicted everything, I've got all of this right, they're actually going to rub people up the wrong way, because they're going to come across as being like, I'm better than you. And their lesson in this is to consciously realise that they need to think before they speak. So start to realise that we're all uniquely different, and we all experience life differently, and that there's not just one way that everything can go. And yes, they are a genius, and we are all geniuses, and we all speak to different pain points of what's going on in the world when we are sharing our voice. So it's just like, the truth is going to come out, and for some people it's going to be very bullish, and they're the ones that are going to, if they've cleaned up their energy, they're going to be well received, because it's going to connect with the heart. The heart's going to know that it's the truth, even though it might be painful and it might rub up against some wounds. But those who haven't done the work and who have been at the front, let's call it the front line of this, and they've been saying things and like, I've predicted this, I've predicted that, and they're not really cleansing and clearing themselves, they're going to come into a bit of bother here. They're going to be seeing that they're spreading rumours kind of thing. So they need to learn to stop being paranoid, think before you speak, and that there is a way of being too assertive. And with this, on the subconscious level, what's going to happen is we're going to start to want to care about the children. We're going to be really, really focusing on what can we do to make sure that the children's future is secure. We're going to be wanting to share with our children and the future of humanity, our future ancestors, about what's important, about happiness, about peace, about sharing what the history of what's really gone on, because a lot of the history that we've been told is a lot of bullshit, and it's almost like we're going to start to, through our own investigations and our internal work, we're going to start to understand what truly happened with our own ancestors. We're going to start to create the legacy of truth of what we've been through and how we have rebuilt. And it's going to be about honouring family traditions and passing on knowledge, and about financial security, about building this, like, I want my children's futures to be secure. And it's about this retirement. What are we going to do when I don't want to work anymore? What I'm going to do for the future of my family lineage? What am I going to keep in the family so that my children can appreciate what we've been through? So that's going to be like this rebuilding, this subconscious level of rebuilding. That's what's going to happen on an energetic level. So once we're going through all of this rebuild, what's going to happen is this beautiful car's popped in. It's called the Star, and this is like, what a relief. Okay, there's like a light at the end of the tunnel, and all of the turmoil of everything that's been happening, and the divine's going to start sending great blessings to everybody. So it's about faith and hope. It's like, we're getting through this. We've gone through this renewal. We're going through the purging of I'm better than everybody else, and all of those kinds of things, our wounds being healed, this telling of the truth and standing up. And then it's going into this, creating this beautiful, let's bring the traditions back, let's really understand about family life. And then it's going into this, all of that, all of the purging, all of the cleansing and purifying that we've been going through is coming round and saying, okay, now it's time to really concrete in an understanding of the past and a sense of purpose that makes your heart feel free. Like, that's going to subconsciously be happening. So the energies of the earth is going to be really helping people to want to discover that part of themselves, and an understanding will start to access that, you know what, the sky is like the limit. We don't have to limit ourselves anymore to this box of protection that we've put ourselves in, where we've been hiding away from the world. We've been too frightened to share who we are, and hiding behind the scenes, and all sorts of things that we've done, not allowing ourselves to receive unconditional love, not allowing relationships in, not being open with ourselves and honest, self-worth, self-esteem, and basically minimizing the truth of who we are so that we can fit in. We're not marginalized for being vain because we trust and believe in ourselves. So it's like we'll start to subconsciously know that the future really truly is bright, and believing in good fortune, and just knowing what's next. We're going to have that clarity about why things happened in the past, why it had to be so treacherous, why did we have to go through these times, and seeing the truth of why everything has happened. It's quite an incredible pull. It really is. It's beautiful to see these cards. And I kept being told this, but when you pull cards that just back everything up, it just takes it to that whole new level. Yeah, it's magical. It's really magical. Okay, so the final card. So we're going into the final card, which is just the closing of all of this, and it's a Sun card that's come out, which is a very beautiful card to have come out. So let's just see what this one's about. So what's coming through for this is, it's immense joy, it's success, it'll be yours, and there's just more and more to come, more than you can ever imagine. It's about turning your face to the sun and opening up your arms and just allowing the blessings to directly flow from source into you, and just all these amazing opportunities. And it's just everything that you've been working towards is just going to be this like proud moment of, we've got through this. This is incredible. Our positive thinking, faith in the universe. So those who have been aligning and following this guidance, is about basking in the radiance of the sun, and just knowing that no one other than you could ever have created what you've brought forth into the world. Like, you'll know that you've created this, and you'll know that it'll come from your heart, whatever you're experiencing and how you're seeing the world. And it's just this sense of, wow, now I really do understand what all this was about. So what a beautiful read. What a beautiful reading. So it's just taking us through the whole of the process, and just saying that we've been grieving this for centuries is what's coming through. We've been grieving what is about to unfold. We've been living in this grief for a long time, and then we've been doing all of this research, and we've been starting to understand what's been going on in the world and the lies, and just finding ourselves in it, and then basically going into our dreams are going to be realized. So that's the past, the present, and the future, and then each card breaking down on the journey of how we're going to get through this. And it's just all about renewal. It's about understanding that why it happened, and it couldn't be any other way, and then starting to rebuild and having faith in that we are financially secure, and having faith that the future is bright, and it's holding that space and not allowing what is happening in the external world to pull you down, because the external world has to come down in order to build the new systems, in order to be able to thrive. This is happening. This is clear as day that this is happening. And yeah, it's magical and it's beautiful. And the timeline, and this is the highest timeline, if we're aligned to the highest timeline, I'm getting told it's going to be the next 2 to 3 years, is what I'm being told, that this is going to unfold in the next 2 to 3 years. And this is the highest timeline. So this means that if the vibrational frequency remains at the highest timeline and it's on schedule, this is what will happen. But as we know, there's people involved in slowing the process down, only slowing it down. Doesn't mean to say that this is all going to go away. No one has more power than the universe. There's no elites who can stop this from happening. This is happening. And all they can do is slow it down and make it more difficult. But I'm told that this is going to be a 2 to 3 year process of going through this present moment into the future, of unfolding that everything is magical and amazing, and we start to step into who we truly are and start to see our dreams manifest. So I'm getting that this is a 2 to 3 year on the highest timeline. Obviously things change, so looking forward to what is going to happen. Yes, there's going to be turbulence, and there has been for many years. This is nothing new. Okay, so thank you very much for listening to this reading.